Welcome to the Voices in Recovery podcast. Voices in Recovery is produced by Freedom's Path Recovery Society, a registered Canadian charity. If you enjoy the podcast, please consider a donation at www.freedomspathrecoverysociety.ca. All donations go directly to assisting Freedom's Path in providing services free of charge and helps us keep the podcast going. We are grateful for any and all donations. This podcast discusses difficult topics such as childhood abuse, drug and alcohol use, sexuality, sexualized trauma, and more. If you are under the age of 18, please speak with your legal guardian prior to listening. The opinions expressed during the podcast are those of the individual and not those of Voices in Recovery or Freedom's Path Recovery Society. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the podcast.
This podcast is being recorded on the traditional land of the Blackfoot Confederacy. This consists of the Kainai, Piikani, Siksika, and the Blackfeet in the U.S. We acknowledge the Stoney Nakoda, which consists of the Bearspaw, Morley, and Chiniki. We acknowledge the Tsuut'ina Huadene and the Métis, Inuit, status and non-status from all of Turtle Island, and those who are visiting. We are all treaty people.
So let's start now. This is a good.
Let's get kicking. I don't know. Some cheesy 80s.
Kick the can, man.
This is where you need like Bruce Buffer to do like, it's time, and start your podcast.
Oh yeah, like have like a catchphrase like whammy. Something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude, I gotta tell you, I'm still unpacking it, man.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot there, right? And I've been reading his book, and like this, we're talking about Othman Hamdan, or Adam, the Imprisoned Blogger.
Yeah.
It was powerful, dude. Like, you know, you and I, we've talked to lots of folks, man, listened to lots of stories. I know, like, you know, quite a few over the last 8 years or whatever it's been, you know.
Absolutely.
But, dude, I'm just constantly amazed by how strong humans are, you know, like in ways that they probably had no idea they could be strong in, you know. And to, I think one of the things that really sticks with me, did you get a chance to listen to it, or
listen to part of it, not the whole thing? But
there's just a lot to unpack, man, because you know, you and I, we've talked about this before, like our privilege for being white passing, and well, I mean, I am white, like, and you know, so there's that, but
can't really help that.
No, I can't do nothing about that.
Right?
But there's definitely privilege attached to that. Like, I mean, obviously that's one of the things about privilege is I didn't do anything to deserve that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Right. And anyway, what were we talking about? Sorry.
The previous guest there. And I think one of the things that always strikes me about these kinds of conversations is, you know, like you hear all these Canadians, like, especially here in Alberta, who are like, there's no racism in Canada. But it's like, when you hear stories like his, like, it's very clearly a race-based policing that's being done on potential terrorists. Like, I've always found it amusing that, like, the skinheads, the neo-Nazis, the KKK just don't quite have, like, they don't have the stories of somebody on these, you know, security issues like your previous guest, right?
Yeah, no, they certainly don't. Like, we just don't have to worry about that stuff, right? Like, I've never had to worry. I shouldn't say I have never had to worry. I probably have had to worry, but didn't, because I was in positions where I probably could have been kidnapped and stuff, but didn't even think about it because I was young and crazy. Yeah. But I mean by the state. I never had to worry about that, right? Not once did I think in the US or in Canada that I'd be picked up by the police for no reason. I felt that way in some other countries, but that's because I was being shady. And and that was when I was younger. But of course, I've never had to live with that fear. I'm starting to see that fear is very real. Like, you know, obviously it is very real. It's very real to a certain percentage of the population. And we all know what that means. right? It's
Absolutely.
the same folks that can be disappeared will be disappeared, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I think obviously it's tragic. I wish this wasn't the case. I don't know what to do about it.
But it's kind of like
Except to
that. I mean,
stop doing it. We could stop doing it.
that would be a novel idea, right? Just
Yeah,
just
we could
cons-
just, you know,
not do it.
yeah, we could just be like, you know what? This is a bad practice. Let's just stop.
Today we're not going to do racism,
Yeah, we're just going to decide not to falsely imprison people just because they're brown. Like, we're
right?
just going to stop doing that. That would be awesome.
It's interesting because I think there's a lot of parallels to how other cultural groups are over policed and over
Hmm.
governed, and it's like they focus so hard on these few. And like I think of indigenous communities where it's like if they're going to put a pipeline, it has to go through indigenous
Yeah.
territory. Like it just has
And
to,
why?
right?
Yeah, and you
And
wonder why is that?
yeah, and like I read a book and it was like they put all the hydro dams always on a river, right on a reservation, right?
Yeah,
Nah, it's just coincidence. And I think it's this as well, where it's like, well, he's from this part of the world, so really aren't they all? And I think that's honestly that's the gross
yeah,
part of being a Canadian. And I think that's why when these stories aren't told, because they're basically not allowed
yeah,
for the most part, Canadians just get to live in this like la la land of like everything's great. Meanwhile,
yeah,
the government is doing these heinous things
yeah.
forever.
And blaming it on like literally the target that apparently the world has taken on, right?
Hmm.
Like, um,
Yeah.
so-called quote unquote terrorists, right?
Yeah.
Which you and I, we've talked about this, man, for years. We don't
Yeah.
buy it anymore. We just haven't bought it for a long time.
Yeah.
That there's this group of people that are, because of who they worship, that they should be feared,
Yeah.
right? Like, and literally Othman's story is a direct illustration of how much Canada and the United States fears Islam, right? Like,
Absolutely.
and we've talked, you and I, we're not religious, we don't believe in that stuff, but you know what I do believe in is for folks, right, to believe in it
Absolutely.
if they want to. If
Yeah.
they want to believe in it, they have every right to believe and practice,
Absolutely.
because you and I also know that the majority of Muslims, much like the majority of Christians, aren't dangerous.
Yeah.
It's the ones that are dangerous are the ones that um, color color the whole faith, right? Which
Absolutely.
I have no faith, but that doesn't mean I don't believe people can, or if
Right?
they want to practice whatever you want, right?
Yeah.
Um, and using that as a hook to arrest people and persecute them,
Totally.
obviously. Shit, man. I mean, like we've talked about too before. We've talked about so much,
Yeah.
like abolition of the prison system, right? Like
Yeah.
that. I don't believe there's any other way to go about it except to abolish it and start over. Start over
Yeah.
with humans in mind, right? Like,
Well,
I
it's
don't
like
know.
everything we do. We got to force people into everything. Like we're
Yeah.
doing forced recovery. We got to do
Uh-huh.
forced, like we got to steal children from families because
Oh,
whatever reason today that we've come up with. And
yeah.
we just got to destroy. We've got to force. We've got to like ensure compliance
Yeah.
rather than sitting back and being like, humans is like, there's very few species on the planet, I think, that just legitimately want to like get rid of themselves. And I think as
Yeah.
a society, if we ease up a bit and perhaps help people instead of forcing people into help,
Yeah.
I just think it would be a
Yeah.
massive difference in the way we react to things and the way things are done. But because we got all this rhetoric going, it's like a snowball right now. It's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I don't know how to get it to like stop, but
Yeah. Well, I think
yeah,
like human rights have become a political like landscape. And that's
yeah,
that's kind of awful because that means
yeah,
nothing's really going to be, it's not about humans anymore. It's
yeah,
about maneuvering, right? And
absolutely.
having enough bargaining chips and stuff. if
Well,
there's folks though,
yeah,
sorry, go
no,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, I was
Yeah,
just going to say, if there's folks out there that don't think that there's racism in Alberta or Canada, go buy yourself a Black Pride YYC t-shirt, hat, sweater, something that says Black Pride YYC on it, and the
yeah,
YYC's in rainbow, and see
yeah,
how people look at you. I wore my sweater this morning.
yeah, yeah.
Holy a shit,
I
right?
bet.
And so, and to those folks out there that think there aren't a whole lot, there isn't a whole lot of blackness out there. Yeah, that's all I had to do. I had to be a white guy, and I wore a sweater because it was chilly,
Yeah,
and I just couldn't. People couldn't stop giving me the stink eye, man. I
right.
honestly, um, it's fucking gross,
Oh, it
dude.
is.
Fucking gross, man. Yeah.
Absolutely, it
Sorry
is.
for interrupting you. You had a point to make, and I totally
Ah,
like
no, no,
hijacked the moment.
no, I do. I think it's terrible the way we kind of live with these blinders on, like,
Yeah.
and it's so unfair. Like, that's the part that drives me nuts is that it's not equal. Like, if we're gonna ferret out justice or whatever we call justice, like if
Yeah.
they can do this with people like this guy that was on the show, where
Mhm.
their life is everything they do 24/7 is watched, monitored, controlled. Why couldn't they do that with the leaders of the convoy?
Yeah.
Why couldn't they do that with these white people that commit terrorist acts by holding up
Mhm.
borders and holding up, Ottawa and like all the things that were going on. But what did we see there? The people got arrested, then charges got dropped, and everything went, and then they got pled down to misdemeanors. And like it's this wishy-washy of like, well, they're white, so like just
Mhm.
because they had weapons and were threatening an RCMP, it's not
Yeah.
really a big deal. But like, if you and
You
I
don't
both
want to
know,
discourage gun ownership of the white
right?
people.
But
Yeah.
you and I both know if it was any shade light darker than white,
Yeah.
it it would have been shut down. It would have been those people
Yeah.
that have all been rounded up and in jail and in
Yeah.
inhumane conditions, treated poorly. No man, like,
Mhm. Well, and I think part of the for me, part of the trouble with that whole thing, obviously, is like it's white nationalists that were kind of behind
yeah,
it. But like it also brought in lots of folks
yeah,
because like just like we were talking about, like with faith and stuff. Look, man, I get it. You don't want to wear a mask. That's fine. Don't wear a
yeah,
mask or whatever it was.
hmm
Um, you have a right, I guess. And you know what? I believe that. I believe you do. Like because
sure,
just because you don't wear one doesn't mean I'm not going to wear one,
yeah, yeah,
right? Like and so I do kind of feel that way. Do I also feel like it's irresponsible? Sure, but that
hmm
doesn't mean that I'm right. That
yeah,
just
yeah,
means that I have a right to feel like it's irresponsible. It doesn't
yeah,
mean that it is, nor does it mean that anyone should do anything differently.
yeah, yeah,
But like the problem with it is exactly like you said, man. It was the white nationalists that get involved in this stuff and then turn it into something that sometimes some of the folks inside of it can't even see,
yeah,
right? Because they're all there for that cause of no masks or whatever. And
yeah.
I'm simplifying it because I really didn't pay a whole lot of attention. It just sounded like a whole bunch of hullabaloo to me. Um,
Yeah, it really was.
you know, yeah, like it really was to me because it wasn't
Nope,
relevant to me. Because I'm
no,
just like, look, I'm making my own decision about it. I'm going to go ahead and wear a mask because I don't want to get my mom sick or my
yeah,
dad
yeah,
sick
yeah,
or you know what I
absolutely,
mean? Like I don't want to get anyone sick, but I really
yeah,
don't want to get folks sick who can't get sick,
yeah, yeah,
like who might not be able to recover from. It. But that anyway, enough about that. Right? But you're right. There's that difference in how these movements are policed,
oh
right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And dude, that's an excellent segue, dude. Well done. Like you just segued us into protests because like it literally is night and day difference between how these things are policed, right? So
yes, absolutely,
folks remember that convoy, the Freedom convoy, um, was like escorted by police,
yeah,
not harassed by police, not
yep.
harmed by police,
In fact, they were
escorted.
protected from a lot of the other citizens who wanted to
Yeah,
shut down that trucker convoy, right? So,
yeah, that's right.
so
That's
it,
right, man. And
yeah, and I think that's I think, going talking about protests, like. when people want equality, it's not just, equality in the workplace. It's equality in the justice system.
Hmm.
So, people of color get sentenced harsher, they get more charges added, they get less
Hmm.
plea agreements, they're overrepresented. That's like I think we want
Hmm.
equality there.
Yeah.
And this is a great example where you have such an extreme measure
Yeah.
for what has all of
One
their
group of
RDAP,
humans.
like how
Yeah.
much money have we spent on monitoring this guy, the human manpower, the police vehicles, the
Hmm.
following, the surveillance, the overtime, the equipment, like
Yeah.
for what outcome, what has that produced? Could
Hmm.
we have maybe hired 20 mental health workers to maybe deal with some of the, you know what I mean? Like that's I think where
Yeah.
people get this confusion of like defund police and equality.
Yeah.
It's like we want equality in the justice system, and we don't want to be funding police that are just doing surveillance on people for apparently no reason.
But that's what we've paid for.
Yeah,
That's what we've paid for now, right? We've paid for
yeah,
this surveillance state where it's not a problem when we see that now
exactly. Yeah,
because we're so like we paid for it. We're like
yeah,
we feel so unsafe now because we've our media has been telling us to hate each other and be afraid of each other since
yeah.
I long before I was born,
Hmm.
right? Like it's been shaping our brains, our culture, everything,
Absolutely.
right? So, and I'm not saying I'm not blaming TV or anything. I'm just saying in general, those kinds of things have really shaped our growth, right?
Absolutely.
And so now we're at this place, um, and the protesting is like separated, and I can see it now because it's separated into like categories of, um, how do I put this, man? Shades of brown, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, yeah.
where if like and it's tragic, man. Like it's
Hmm.
tragic. Like the response that our group gets from a Palestinian-led group gets from the Calgary Police Service is atrocious, dude.
Yeah.
Atrocious. The last rally last weekend, I can't even tell you how many times a bike cop was trying to like mean mug some lady in our marching thing or
Yeah.
some older person, right? Like
Yeah,
or
yeah.
me or anyone because they just did it to everybody,
Wow.
right? They tell you that that it's better for us to stay together. It's safer. Yeah, we know that, dudes.
Yeah.
Why do you keep separating us? They keep
Right?
stopping us. Yeah, it's wild, man. Um, and some days they'll block traffic, and other days they'll be like, no, get the fuck out of the road. Like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
just, it's so up and down with them. And I've come to understand that's because of that, right? It's
Yeah.
because it's Palestinian folks, and they consider all of us terrorists,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
to put a point on that, these bike cops, this last one, they were aggravating everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody. The
Yeah.
sergeant said to me as I walked by, as I walked by them, the sergeant said of the bike team, he said, Dave, it makes me sick to see you like this.
Yeah.
It makes him sick to see me marching with people who have no one else, right? Like
Yeah.
that's the kind of shit that makes him sick. Not the genocide, not the
No.
bombing of the children,
No,
right?
no.
Like, and on frankly, I wouldn't even have taken the time to say anything to him.
Yeah.
Um, but I said, well, it makes me sick to see you like that,
Hmm.
right? Because it just makes me feel so gross that there's people who literally just look at the folks that I'm hanging around and say, it makes me sick to see you like that.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck does that mean?
Right? But
Right?
there's
I
no
know exactly
racism in
what
the
it means.
police force, right?
No, of course not. And I gotta be honest with you, this is a guy that I would have said is a nice guy.
Yeah.
I would have said that. I won't say that now because now I'm starting to see the heart,
Right?
right? Like you start seeing that heart pumping, and you're like, holy man.
Yeah.
And then another segue, dude. We did that. Oh, we're smooth, man. The Speaking of art, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
and so okay, so now I've told you that at the protest, the cops were all agitated and all
Yeah,
that kind of
yeah.
stuff, which is awesome. I said that part first, purposely to like lay the foundation. So folks would already be like thinking that we're victims. But I'm just kidding. I didn't do that on purpose. I'm not smart enough. Um,
Neither am I, man.
yeah. So I had I think I talked to you about it. Yeah, I totally talked to you about it. I had these uniforms left
Yep.
over from when I was working with the chaplaincy program,
Yep.
right, with the CPS when I was volunteering with them. Um, and I couldn't figure out what to do. I'd asked a few artists if they wanted them for anything, like, I don't know, have like I know a performance artist who like, maybe
Mm.
wants to like defecate on them or
Yeah, yeah.
something like that, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
but nobody wanted them because of course they're Calgary Police insignia, and
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, probably they couldn't conceive of doing that performance piece, but I could, right? Like, um, but that's because it was supposed to be me doing something with them.
Yeah.
So I've had them for almost 3 years now, and yeah, about that. And I just couldn't figure it out. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what it was that got me clued in. I think I was talking to Michelle, or no, we were at G7 or something like that. Yeah, I think it was the G7
Hmm.
protest. And I just thought, you know what I should do? In my brain, I was like, I should just turn these into like, like signs for protest kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was like, oh shit, maybe I should paint them. And then I just kept kind of thinking about it. But because you and I both know my brain is not as fast as it once was, it took me a while, took me a couple months to percolate that thing. And but finally I figured out I'd paint him. So I painted like, the concepts that I woke up to while I was volunteering with Calgary Police. I woke up to a lot of like truths, right? Like of
Mm.
who I was being of use to.
Yep.
Um, and in my case, it just made me feel sick. That's why I quit,
Yeah.
because I just didn't want to be of use to those folks anymore.
Yeah.
Um, and so what I did was I took all those like negative feelings, because yeah, I've had lots of like anger about it, and
Yeah,
for sure
sure.
I have, man. There's lots to process there. I'm
Yeah.
still processing it, but it it was like all these different concepts, like racists and rapists
Mm.
and killers and genocide. That's who I was serving, right? And then I started thinking about it as I was painting these uniforms. I started thinking about the time when, well, that I knew of, when some members that I knew went to Israel and taught them how to police in Israel. So like,
Oh, wow.
right? And it popped into my head, and I was like, oh fuck, man, I served genocide. Like, of course I did. Why
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
it be genocide? Like, it's like,
Yeah.
every once in a while when we get saucy and spicy, we'll do a chant, and the chant says, what is it? CPS, KKK, IDF, they're all the same, something
Mm.
like that,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And that's when we get really spicy. So, folks out there, you're wondering, oh, you guys are just jerks to them. That's what.
Yeah.
No, that's as spicy as we get.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
as spicy as we get. We compare them to the IDF and KKK,
Yeah.
and we only compare them to them because they act like them.
Yeah.
It never would have been a thing if they didn't act the same. So,
Yeah.
um, so anyway, that's interesting, man. So anyway, I the interesting thing was not necessarily the art, but the response that I got from the community for a protest, right? Like with
Yeah.
the Calgary People's Assembly. It was awesome, man. They invited me to unveil the piece at the last protest. And
Nice.
yeah, man. So anyway, the piece ended up being these uniform shirts and jackets painted with different words. And
Right
I
on.
chained them together with a chain.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if we can burn the melted chain. Probably.
Eh.
It, we melted that badge. That was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, that's true, actually.
Yeah, man. And so I chained them all together and
Yeah.
made like a banner out of these uniform shirts and jackets.
Nice.
And yeah, and I locked it together. I found the lock, a padlock that I kept from the army, dude, when I
Oh,
was in.
wow.
So for 33 years, 32 years, this lock has been traveling with me. And I figured out, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to lock this chains with this lock, because
Yeah.
that was my first like step into working for the machine and
Yeah.
becoming a stormtrooper, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
so yeah, and they were really cool, man. We rolled it out at the protest.
So how did that
Did
feel like
you?
for you? How did that feel like actually getting to explain that to a crowd of people and getting a response and like did it kind of feel better or just kind of
Yeah,
like cool? Like I don't know. How did it feel?
it felt good, man. It felt
Yeah.
really good. Like it was funny because like I was so stressed about it because
Yeah.
I just had, I mean, you can imagine, dude, I had all these ideas that I was gonna like bring it out of the car and set it
Oh
up,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
the cops were gonna come and tackle me, and it was
For
gonna be
sure.
this thing. Because I'm melodramatic. I'm like a
Yeah.
total drama queen.
Worst case
And
scenario thinker, yeah.
right, 100%. So it's straight where my brain went was that it was gonna be like tackled on the sidewalk as soon as I pulled it out of the car. But of course, nobody gave a shit. So, I mean, they did, but
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
different way. In
Yeah.
a different way. The folks in our group were just so amazing about it, and being able to kind of explain a little bit about it.
Hmm.
That it's the manifestation of me of my like anger, right?
Yeah.
Really, of like and not just at them, but at myself, right? Like
Right.
too. Because I found that was a big part of it, man, when I was painting these uniforms and I was like thinking of, you know, who's really responsible. And it's
Yeah.
me. Like just
Yeah.
for being a part of it. I'm not responsible for what they do. I'm just responsible for putting myself there, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Well, yeah.
yeah, and I mean, I didn't know what I know now, of course, or I wouldn't have, but
Yeah.
the idea that I did it is true, right? Like, I
Yeah, yeah.
mean, I got to explain to the folks there about, I think it was about 16. I would have been 16. It's all I wanted to do was go in the army,
Hmm.
go die for freedom. Like, I told my dad we were driving down to California from here because that's where I was joining. And he asked why I wanted to go in the army, and I said I just want to go and die for freedom,
Mm.
right? Like, but I was a kid who always wanted to die, so you got to keep that in mind, right? Like I was El
Wanted to
Depresso,
die, filled with propaganda. Absolutely.
right? Yeah, I was basically a human suicide machine, right? Like you could have,
Yeah.
like lots of buddies I knew were just like that though.
Yeah.
Like ever since we could remember, that's what we were supposed to do.
Hmm.
Um, and I just remember the feeling of explaining that for the first time to folks, going, "Oh yeah, fuck, dude, that's all I wanted," you
Yeah.
know, and to you know not go through that, thank goodness, right? Um, like what a stroke of luck, right? That
Yeah, yeah.
I hurt my knees and got kicked out, and you know, all these different things were just like strokes of luck. And
Yeah, yeah.
when at the time I did not feel that way about it,
For
you
sure.
know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
I
they were
mean,
setbacks at the time, probably,
yeah, oh
right? Like,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
dude, getting kicked out of the army, man, I was so like miserable. Like, I mean, I started drinking
I
like
bet.
right away,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, I had quit drinking for like a year, and I was a drinker. Even at 18, I was blackout drinking,
Oh,
right?
wow. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Like, dude, I just didn't fuck around with booze, man. It was
Go big or
just,
go home, right?
yeah, it was just not something I fucked around with. Um, and I couldn't, I don't think. I just don't
Yeah.
think I could control it, right? So,
Yeah, absolutely.
um, but anyway, like, dude, it was pretty liberating, man. I
Yeah.
don't know what to do with the piece now. I'm trying to figure out what to do with it.
Yeah.
So in terms of like maybe putting it somewhere,
Not on the front lawn of the headquarters,
I
CPS
would
head.
never. If that ever happened, it's because someone stole it out of my apartment. Yeah, or
Although
out
it
of
would
my
be kind of
dumpster,
funny to be able to sneak in there and like prop it up on a big like
buddy. Yeah.
set it up so it's high in the air.
Yeah,
People showing up
I
for
know.
shift in the morning.
I
Not that
know,
we would
man.
ever advocate for vandalism.
We would never do such a thing.
Yeah.
And
Not
like
that
I
you could do
said,
that. There's like 6 trillion cameras on that building, so
well, I
like,
mean, you could do it. You just,
you're just gonna
you
get
might get
caught.
caught. Yeah. You just have to be willing to get caught, I think.
Right?
And I would never advocate for anyone to do stuff like that.
No,
So
no.
yeah.
No, I like, yeah, no. Wouldn't advocate for it.
Mm-mm.
You know.
Would I enjoy seeing stuff? Of course. Like I'm a
Yeah.
human. I enjoy stuff, but yeah, I don't advocate for it because
No, no.
that's against the law,
Well, I'm glad it
man.
feels better. I'm glad you feel a little like I'm hoping you feel a little bit liberated from kind of the guilt that was associated with that. Um,
Yeah, man. I mean, I still feel responsible, and I think I'm supposed to, right? I think that's part of the
yeah.
deal. You do the stuff, you deal with the consequences. So
Well, it's like anything, right? Like we all
yeah,
make so-called mistakes, or we have things where we thought this is what I'm gonna, and it did not
yeah,
work out. And I think that's the whole point is you've learned from it, you've moved on, clearly, but you have to keep it in your mind. You have to remember
yeah,
that. You have to live with that. You did that
yeah, and
thing,
I
you
yeah,
know?
and I think that's the price of the ticket, right?
Yeah.
Like I just finished that book a couple weeks ago, and it's a collection of James Baldwin's writings.
Mm.
And man, what a brilliant writer! And it's the price of the ticket. Yeah, it can be a lot sometimes.
Oh
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I'm not trying to compare anything that I go through to what happened in the book, what he talked about. Obviously not. It's just a matter
No,
of
but it's a
that
it's relative to everything, right?
100% it's relative.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, dude, it really did feel good. Um,
I'm glad.
yeah, thanks, man. It's just nice to feel a little bit lighter, you
Yeah.
know? Like, um, yeah, and more protests coming up. What else was there, dude?
I'm not sure. What else have we got going on? I mean, world's kind of falling to shit, but I know that's kind of every
Oh
day, all
yeah,
day.
yeah, I mean the world, yeah, my excitement. Oh yeah, the world's falling to shit. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that reminds me.
That reminds me. Yeah. That was like a genuine, holy shit, it is falling. Fuck. um, yeah, I think like I turned 51 last week.
That's right. Yeah.
Um, yeah, dude, and there's just a lot going on with different things. So, um,
Well, and in August was your other birthday, right? No, wasn't it in
yeah,
August?
that was my 21 years
Yeah.
sober. Yeah.
Wow.
Um, yeah, dude, and I gotta tell you, I never would have seen this coming.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, never would have seen it coming, man. Like
Yeah.
the kid who was like itching to die in some foreign land because he
Yep.
shouldn't have been there in the first place. Yeah,
Yeah.
that kid. Yeah, that's a whole different ball game, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it is weird getting old. I'm getting closer to the age my dad was when he died. So like every year I
Oh,
get closer, it's just kind of like, oh my God. Like
yeah.
and the reality that I'm hoping that I outlive him. But like
Yeah.
it's just I don't know. I think it starts putting life into perspective the closer you get to the end of it. I mean,
Yeah.
hopefully we both have quite a long ways to go at least. But
Well, I hope you do, man. I don't necessarily hope that for myself, but I hope you do. Like I don't really think about it like that, you know.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
But I was gonna ask you actually how you were doing because I know shit, dude. It's Sam's like out of school and gonna be going to university and
Oh yeah.
like
Yeah. There's a
and
lot of
you're right.
changes. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's
Yeah,
uh
and
it's exciting though. Like I think I like it because I get to kind of get that hope, like her excitement for going to school and
yeah.
getting into the trade she wants to. Like it kind of takes you back to that age again, and you're like, oh, I remember when I had excitement for things too, and
I remember when I liked stuff.
right when I thought, oh, I'm gonna conquer this world or whatever it is you had at 18.
Yeah,
But like,
yeah,
it is fun to watch and like just to see kind of her realizing like she's an adult, like she's
yeah,
we've been out to a couple of pubs now for dinner and kind of thing. Like it's
yeah,
kind of exciting, but it's fun to see her and her friends and kind of that generation kind of
Hmm.
moving up to the next phase. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
one of our friends from who lives down south came into Calgary for a few days, so we kind of got to see her for a few hours. But it was just neat because like I haven't seen her for probably 2 years now,
Hmm.
or yeah, probably almost 2 years. So it's just kind of like you're catching up, but like it's not a little girl anymore. It's
No,
a young
they're
woman,
grown
and
ups. Yeah.
they've got their ideas and they've got their drive, and it's just kind of really cool to
Hmm.
see that, you know, like
Yeah.
they've got their political opinions and like I don't know, it
Hmm.
just gives me a lot of hope to see that.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got to see that. That feeling of hope is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
You
it's
know.
it's needed because like I'll be honest with you, I've cut back a huge amount on any social medias, like the news,
Yeah.
like even the political jokes or comedy. Like I've had to scale back on that just for
Yeah.
some sanity because it's just too
I don't
much,
blame
you
you.
know? Like it's just Trump, 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 Trump,
Yeah.
or fuck Carney, whatever
Yeah.
it is that wherever
Well,
you're at.
and even the jokes get old, right?
They
Like
do,
the
yeah.
jokes about it. Like even jokes about Trump, I'm just like, ugh,
I
more
know,
jokes about this goof. Like, why do we even bother?
right?
Right? Like,
I
I
know.
guess there is an interesting thing though, and attached to him a little bit. And I say interesting, not necessarily about him, but about kind of the world, I guess, or the United States anyway.
Hmm.
Like Jimmy Kimmel was like terminated or whatever, and then
Hmm.
he got hired, and no, the show got canceled, and then it got brought back, right?
Yeah.
And my understanding is that it got brought back because of a whole outcry of like people
Oh yeah.
searching cancel Disney Plus or whatever, and but probably some other things too went into that, I'm sure.
Well,
Um,
from what I understand, people were canceling like their Disney family cruises. Their
okay,
people were
yeah.
selling out of their timeshare condos in the Disney resorts.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so like I think the last thing I read, they lost 4 to 6 billion in revenue in like 40 in I think it was in 72 hours or something.
Holy shit, dude. Oh,
Their
that'll get
shares
change
went
our
down
mind.
like
Yeah.
5% or 7% or something. Like
Yeah.
it was insane. And I don't think they were prepared for that at all.
Well,
And now they're jumping the freaking price. They're increasing the price this month in October on Disney
are
Plus.
they?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like you guys just don't learn, do you?
you rat bastards.
But
Holy
this is what I
shit.
love though is seeing people rally because it has an
Yeah,
impact. Like you saw it at
of
McDonald's at
course.
the start of, the Palestine, since October 7th, what, 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
You've seen these companies that like, we stand with Israel, and then they
Yeah.
start losing money and nobody goes there. And
Yeah.
I love seeing this. That is
Yeah.
also something that I think is very positive, is
Yeah.
we really only have money and a vote.
That's all we
So
got, man. We got
we got to
boycott
start
power
using
and
those.
voting power.
Yeah. And
I
even
agree,
even
man.
here with like some of the unions and stuff like that, like I know the teachers union here in Alberta and stuff is going on strike and all this stuff, but like I
Oh, I
think it's
stand with
really
teachers too,
important.
for sure.
What's that?
I stand with teachers, man.
Absolutely, but I think it's important to also stand up to the tyranny of government.
Yes.
And that's the benefit of these unions is that they can
Yeah.
stand up to the tyranny of these governments who are like, nah, we can't afford you, so F
Yeah.
you. But we're going to give ourselves a few extra million a year total, but
Hmm.
sucks to be you guys. Or
Yeah.
we'll buy $75 million worth of shit Tylenol that we can't use because it's not approved. Like, it just, the
Or because it
dumbass
gives you
things we're doing.
autism. Or
Right?
because it gives you autism.
Right?
Dude, I'm sorry, man, but like he is like a showstopper, that RFK
Oh, I
guy,
know,
dude. I
right?
tell you, yeah.
Well, who else has like a brain worm, left a bear in the Central Park, went swimming
Ate
with
a
his
possum.
grandkids? Yeah, went swimming with his grandkids in a sewage river. Like,
He is
oh,
wild,
it
man.
is just shocking. And like,
Yeah,
this is who people,
yeah,
70 million Americans think is like the top guy for health. Like, he
yeah,
knows the answers. And I'm like,
yeah, man.
wow.
It's because 70 million Americans apparently have brain worms as well.
Oh,
Like,
just
right?
shocking.
Yeah.
It's like when the orange Cheeto went to the UN and told them all their countries are going to hell because America's so awesome and always will
Yeah.
be, and it's like, what are you
Oh,
doing? Like,
yeah.
this has to be I'm waiting to find out this has all been a South Park prank or some shit like
Yeah.
that. Like,
Fucking something.
I have found myself turning more to things like astrophysics news and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
honestly, I kind of find that for some reason as I get older, I get more excited about the fucking stars and heavens up there. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh, it
So,
makes more sense, man. It makes more
right?
sense because this stuff doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense how this is even happening with this
No.
idiot down there
I,
and the moron we
actually,
have in Alberta. Like,
oh, I know.
it's crazy. Yeah.
One of the interesting things that Sam and I were talking about is, she was going through high school and like literally learning about the war, like World War II and how Hitler
Mhm.
came to power. And, so she said it was interesting because as like in her grade 12, they would learn about like propaganda and they'd go through it. And then in the real world, she's sitting there going, well, but you guys know this is all propaganda, right? Like we just learned about that and it's happening now.
Mhm.
So we were actually talking about how interesting it is that it's like, you know, other than the fact that millions of people are dying, but like it's interesting to see how it's rising again, just like it did before. But for her, it's like literally, I just read it, and then 2 days later, I'm seeing it,
Mhm.
and it's like this was
Yeah.
history and this is real life. So we had
Yeah.
a good chat about that. I thought that was pretty interesting take on things.
No doubt, man. It is interesting. And it's like literally happening. Like it's
Yeah,
happening in real time, man. And I think that's part of why people are just like shocked,
yeah,
not able to do anything, right? Because
yeah.
it's like, wait, is this really happening? It's kind of like the frog in the water, right?
Oh
Boiling
yeah,
slowly, slowly, and then, like some folks felt it much sooner, obviously, than some of us,
yeah,
but
yeah,
like everyone kind of feels it at a different level
yeah,
until hopefully everybody feels it, man, and just like fights, starts
yeah,
swinging because it's it's crazy, dude. It's
yeah.
crazy. I left the house with my sweater on today, and I can't even believe the looks I got. It was a
Oh yeah,
sweater, dude. I
yeah,
didn't even think about it when I put it on. Like I have to be honest. It's a sweater. I
yeah,
just got it. It's really new. It's nice. It's comfortable. Like
yeah.
I threw it on and didn't even think about it, dude, because I
Right,
thought my brain could not even conceive that this would be a problem.
right.
But
Yeah,
honestly, it's a problem.
yeah.
I mean, it's their problem. I don't give a shit. But like, it, I
But it's
can't believe it's a
shocking how such
problem.
a simple thing could trigger people to be upset with you or give you a different, like, who
And scowl at
cares?
you.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. And I know right
imagine
now
if we
there's like,
treated like people who wore like crosses, pendants and stuff, like
yeah,
because of all the Christian pedophile priests. Imagine if you
yeah,
gave them the same mean looks for wearing their religious propaganda. Like
yeah.
you'd have like people trying to fight
Oh,
you
yeah.
probably,
Well, it would be considered a hate crime,
right?
right?
Yeah,
At that point, but only
right.
because it's on Christianity,
Yeah.
right? Like, um, and I mean yeah, I don't even want to get into that dark hole of
No, we don't.
reality.
We don't got that much time on a Saturday night.
I don't think either one of us has that kind of time tonight. Um, it's like, but it's just honestly, it's playing out like a tragedy, man. Like
Yeah,
it's in real time. We've got genocide happening. We've got like
yeah.
mass amounts of people being murdered in the Congo, Sudan, like it,
Yeah.
everywhere. And God, man,
Well, it's like,
there's an ongoing genocide in Turtle Island.
yep.
Like, there's the racism is upkicked, right?
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know, um,
Well,
shit.
I was walking my dog at the dog park the other day, and there was a young man wearing a turban, and I look a certain way. I'm fine with it. I have this thing where if I get on a bus, old women tend to move away from me of certain ethnic cultures. I
Mhm.
just come to accept that I look scary kind of like you. Like when you walk somewhere, there's probably people that look at you with your tattoos and like, oh, he's a tall guy with lots of tattoos. Like it can be off-putting for people who don't know you and maybe have had bad experiences, right?
Yeah. No,
So,
for sure, man, because people give me that look all the time.
right, and you know it, you
Oh
see
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I was walking my
Yeah.
dog, and the dogs start playing together, of course, and it's great, and they're having fun. But we just kind of got chatting about dogs, right? But you could see the moment that because he said something about his religion, his religious belief. And I'm
Hmm.
like, ah, that's cool, and kept walking and talking. Like I don't really care, but that's cool. You know. And
Yeah.
anyways, you could see the relief in him, like his body language totally shifted when he realized, like, oh, this isn't a guy who's going to be like a dick to me if I mention my religion. And
Yeah.
then he said something about another fellow who was there, and he's like, he also, he's kind of almost embarrassed to say that he also wears a turban. And I'm like, oh, cool.
Mm.
Well, I hope I run into him. Like, talking about dog, because it's a
Mm.
dog park. All you do is talk about your dogs.
Yeah.
But it was just, it was sad to see how much fear he has. Not of, because he was apologizing for his dog being near my dog,
Mm.
like jumping up in the air near my dog. Like because
Yeah.
people just, because he's a brown guy with a Rottweiler,
Yeah.
his dog's super aggressive. It's just too rough. It's always,
Mm.
but like I've never met a Rottweiler that's really mean. I'm
I
lucky, I
I've
guess.
only met the sweetest dogs that are
Right? So,
Rottweilers,
but I
yeah.
just thought
But I
it's
mean,
so sad that this guy not only has to be kind of hesitant to like talk to people, but like to even go to the dog park with his absolutely phenomenally trained dog.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And have to
Uh,
explain it and apologize for it. And I'm like, dude, like, but to everybody else, this would just be
man.
normal dog behavior, right?
Yeah.
And it made me sad because I'm like, this guy can't even really enjoy going to the park like I do.
Yeah.
I don't think about
Well,
who I talk to. I don't give a
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, you're right, man. And I think
But
that's
he would.
yeah, well, I bet you there's probably a process that he goes through before he even leaves the house, man, to try to
Absolutely.
prepare for it. Like you'd have to, right? And
Yeah.
that's the kind of shit that like guys like you and I, we would never know, right?
No.
Like,
And he's not going to
unless we
fight back.
started,
He's not going to start screaming at somebody if they're yelling things at him. Like, he's just going to kind of, okay, and take his dog and leave,
yeah,
you
because he
know?
knows what happens if he starts screaming at the guy back or even defending himself in any way, shape, or form, right?
Yeah,
Like it's just not going to go well.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
I mean that in itself is violence, right? You can't
Yeah.
even defend yourself. Like you can't you
Yeah.
must there must be this feeling of like absolute helplessness at times. Not
Well,
always, obviously, but at times, right? Like,
especially in vulnerable situations like that, like,
yeah,
who's to say that somebody's not going to call and be like, this dog is trying to kill all the dogs at the dog park and make up
yep,
lies? And even if it's all found to not be true, like he's got to go through a process now, and he's got to be part of an
yep,
police and bylaw, and like,
yep,
but people will do it, right? Like, I have neighbors that I have to worry about now, and I had to put up cameras on my front yard, and I have to make sure that, we don't, like, because they made comments about my big dog being scary and attacking the whole neighborhood and killing people and cats, and,
oh man,
I'm pretty sure they think he killed JFK too. I don't know. Probably helped Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, so, but you have people like that who are off balance, they're racist, they're hate filled, and they're fueled with this propaganda. So, like, as a person of color or minority, like, I don't blame them at all for just being like, okay, I'll leave,
oh man,
and
I
it's
don't
just
know,
sad. It's sad
yeah,
because I always feel
yeah,
like, just run up to the dog park. But for other people, it's not
yeah,
just run up to the dog park, as
yeah.
something as simple as going to the dog park.
Well, and it's I mean we talking about the dog park, but I mean we could talk about riding the train or riding
Grocery
the
store.
bus, grocery store, like anywhere, right? Because
Yeah,
once you realize it happens, it just happens everywhere, and
yeah,
it's like it's gross, right? Like
yeah,
it's a gross feeling to know that's kind of. And then when people start defending other people when they don't even know, but they
yeah,
defend them for some sense of like responsibility or guilt, whatever they're going through,
yeah.
when they do that, um, that's awkward too, because
Hmm.
I've started saying like, yeah, like lots of us white people make excuses about it. That's
Absolutely.
what I say pretty much every time. Like, yeah, lots of us make excuses about it because we don't want to acknowledge the fact that it is in fact racism. Like,
Yeah.
and We just want it not to be an issue, so we think it's going to go
Absolutely.
away that way, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well,
yeah,
yeah, and anyway, so that's kind of where my life's been at in the last little while. Dog parks and shitty neighbors.
yeah. Dog parks, shitty neighbors, man. It's like suburban heaven?
Yeah. But having said that,
Question mark?
these shitty neighbors I got for the last 20 years, I've like they are the absolute racist neighbors.
Yeah.
If we have a lot of families of color in the neighborhood.
Hmm.
And there's nothing I love more than hearing all the kids running up and down the street with their bikes and having fun. But to
Yeah.
her and one other neighbor who's no longer with us, but they used to just like, they're the ones at the front window over the couch, just peering at all the colored kids out there, just roaming around,
Oh,
being little thugs out there, riding their
yeah.
bicycles,
I just
you
got
know?
that picture. I got that picture of Clint Eastwood sitting on his porch.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can,
And
oh
so,
man, that's the thing. We can all picture it. Yeah.
yeah. So it's sad because those are the like you can pick them out now. Like it's pretty easy to pick them out.
Yeah.
It's always the people
Yeah.
like that are got to be the shitty neighbors. That got to be the
Yeah.
the person who reports things that really didn't happen that way. And
Yeah.
yeah,
And some people are feeling like overly empowered and entitled these
absolutely,
days, eh? Like that they just
absolutely,
feel entitled. It
yeah,
was that reminds me of this. It's kind of funny. Speaking of protests and like people doing funny shit, like to try to like intimidate us as we're marching. Because
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean, one of these days you're gonna come out. We're gonna get some video and show people the
Yes.
faces people make at us, because that's what I would hope that as you do in video, try to get as many faces that people make at us as possible because they are hilarious.
Oh, I
Um, some
imagine.
of them, some of them are obviously awful too, but
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
um, there was this we were marching and we had a good group. Again, we've had our groups are getting bigger, which is awesome. I
yeah.
encourage anyone to check it out if you're able and interested. Um, just look up Calgary People's Assembly, and Justice for Palestinians. Anyway,
Nice.
Calgary. Um, so we're marching, and we march west on Seventh Ave
Yeah.
from City Hall. So we go
Okay.
west on Seventh Ave all the way down to Third Street Southwest, and
Yeah.
then we turn south for one block, and then we come back eastbound on 8th Ave, okay,
Okay.
back to City Hall. So that's our normal route. We take the same route now, unless there's something else going on. We take the same route. So um, we're walking across the platform at the Third Street station by TD Square. I don't know if it's called that anymore, but it used to be called TD Square.
Yeah.
Um, and so we're marching there, and this dude, I swear I can't swear on a Bible because it doesn't mean anything, but I swear on, I don't know, my weight set. I swear on my weight set. That's like somebody else's Bible. So
Yeah, there you go.
I'll swear on my weight set that um this woman she encapsulated Karen. Like
Oh man.
dude, she came headlong towards us. She's by herself, but she is so emboldened because she is incredibly white,
Mm-hmm.
incredibly powerful white woman, and she's on a
Oh, of
mission.
course.
And dude, she actually thought she looked tough, but she had her arms going like this, like she was swinging. And and oh my God, do you remember The Simpsons when Bart or no Lisa does
Oh
the
yeah, yeah.
right? That's what it looked like, dude. It looked like she was doing that, but I think she was trying to be serious. So we started laughing. And she was trying to like intimidate us, but it was so funny, dude. We all just separated so she could walk, and she thought she was just the coolest thing, dude.
Oh my
Uh,
God.
oh my, I can't. I hope somebody got video of that, but it was. I swear, dude, I haven't laughed that hard on a march because like usually the cops are harassing us and
Oh
being
yeah, yeah.
dicks. So, but this was one of those rare times where they were like probably busy doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it might have been might have been something else going on that time. But anyway, it was perfect, dude. It was like,
Yeah, yeah.
here comes Karen. Her arms are like waving at her sides, like she's just so fed up with our shit. She would have seen us for about 10 seconds at that point, right?
Yeah,
Like, because
yeah.
we just had walked by her right then. So like, but she was so fed up with our shit. It was awesome.
Just gonna go through that crowd, man.
And we just moved and
Yeah.
laughed at her. It was just so funny.
No better way to deflate somebody than in their ego than to just sit there and laugh at their efforts.
Yeah, well, dude, and I mean, we get this all the time. They're
Oh yeah,
gonna
yeah.
like they want to kill us kind of thing.
Hmm.
Um, and honestly, I just give people the peace sign most of the time. Every once in a while, I'll flip somebody off because they just say something gets me the wrong way or whatever. But
Yeah, yeah.
mostly it's peace signs and blow kisses, right? So,
Well, you got to use that
um,
privilege somehow, right? And if it's flipping
well,
somebody off once in a while, then use it.
and I use my privilege as best I
Yeah,
can
right.
for the good of all things. And so, speaking of that, speaking of using my privilege, so we can wrap this up. I know it's like Saturday night, man. Um, but speaking of privilege, so this is to put a point on. We rolled out my piece with the banner with the
Hmm.
chain and the uniforms painted and all that, and then we left it out during the whole protest and the march and everything.
Yeah.
And so of course the police saw it, right? Like
Oh
they
yeah.
probably saw it several times, and it probably explains a little bit why they were so agitated. Because I'm not sure how I'd feel if I was them and I saw all that shit. So, and yeah, so
Excellent job.
I'll give that to them. Yeah, excellent job, everyone. Well done. Um, but at the end of it, so everybody's like worried now. They're thinking the
Yeah.
cops are there because they're mad. So they're starting to figure out, oh, these cops are going to like jump Dave. That's what they think is going to happen.
Hmm.
So I get a couple of folks like, dude, you need a ride? Like they're coming by, like, hey
Oh
man,
yeah, yeah.
can I give you a ride home, man? Like they're eyeballing you. And I'm like, oh yeah, they totally are. I said, but I have a ride. So it was really nice. Like that's one of the things, man. I didn't have to say anything.
Yeah.
People just knew. They knew
Yeah.
that the cops were like, they were hyper aggressive that day. They were like highly agitated and
Hmm.
they circled me. And
Oh yeah, yeah.
so at the end, they circled me and they were trying to like close in on me,
Yeah.
but they weren't paying attention. And my ride came and I jumped in the car. And as we're pulling out, they're in a huddle and there I could see the sergeant who had already said it makes him sick that I walk with Palestinians, which
With humans,
that
yeah.
comment makes me sick.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that I walk
Yeah,
with
yeah.
humans that makes him sick. So you think about that out there in La La Land if you're a popo. Um, but anyway, so I could tell they're in a huddle,
Hmm.
like they're and I can see it. He goes, "Where
Yeah.
is he?" The
Oh
sergeant
wow.
goes, "Well, where is he?" And then they're like, "Well, I don't know." And they're looking around, but I'm in the car at this point,
Nice.
and so I'm just kind of peeking because the driver John is going to pull out, and he can't see them. But so as he
Mhm.
pulls out, one of the popo points at me and says, "Oh, there he is," like that, right? And so just as he goes, "There he is," I was like, I didn't know what to do, man. So
Yeah, yeah.
like seriously, my inner queer man came out and I gave peace sign and I said, "Later, boys," and then I blew him a kiss. And
That
so
is fantastic, man.
so the last thing I see as we're driving away in my rearview mirror is probably one of the maddest cops I've ever seen because I blew them a kiss. Yeah.
Oh, dude,
Um,
that's awesome.
yeah, it was
That's
pretty good.
fantastic.
It was a good way to close it out. And yeah, and really I don't know what else to say about it, but dude, it felt good to get it out there.
Yeah.
It also feels vulnerable, right?
Hmm.
Because, whenever you stand up for anything or about anything, there's always going to be like blowback, right? So,
Absolutely.
I just appreciate the community for allowing me to do that and supporting me so much in that.
Yeah.
Um, and of course, uh, being able to share stories like Othman's, man, like you and
Hmm.
I are pretty lucky. We're in a pretty good
Absolutely.
position to be able
Yeah.
to do that. And it's kind of like someone said, um, maybe we'll just finish with this. I just want to say like what we're seeing in the States and what we see here and the stuff that we don't see here because it's all
Hmm.
underground by the state.
Yeah.
Um, just remember, like, we're not lying. Whoever said this first, I don't know. But like, if they come for them in the morning, they will
Yeah,
absolutely come for us in the evening. Like we
absolutely.
have to believe that, like,
Yep,
because this is what's happening, right?
absolutely.
Um, and so, yeah, I think that's all I got, dude. Like,
Right
I
on,
think
man.
that, yeah,
I think that's awesome.
awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Um, oh yeah, and that was it in memorial for Asada Shakur, who passed away
Mm,
yesterday.
that's right. Yeah,
Yesterday.
yeah.
So, because I meant to mention that earlier, and then the quote I think was associated with them,
Yep.
or either them or Angela Davis, and I get confused. So
Yeah,
please don't, please send all your hate emails to Darcy after this.
yeah. And that's freedom's path.
No, no, that's info at. I'm just kidding. You have to absolutely edit that out, dude.
Oh, I will.
Wink, wink.
All right, man. I guess
What are you doing tonight, man?
now I'm just kind of hanging out and going through nerves as my daughter goes to the club for the first time. So,
Right
big dad
on.
moment of I'll be in the garage tinkering for a few hours,
Excellent, dude. Tinker. I'm
trying
gonna
to
go
calm
outside
those
and tinker
nerves.
as well. Yeah, I'm gonna go outside and tinker as well.
Yeah, well, it's the thing to do when you're a dad.
Dude, and when you're an uncle. Yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah.
How about you, man?
I'm. I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had like this. I was gonna go for like a second walk this afternoon, like
Yeah.
a mental health walk, because I was
Yeah.
working, and I ended up having a nap instead.
Yeah.
And
That's always good for the
and
mental
so,
health.
yeah, but I woke up, I was like, "What day is it, man? Like, I don't even know what day it is." Yeah, it was a really good nap. So,
Nice. Nice.
yeah, yeah, cool,
Awesome,
man.
man. All
All right,
right.
brother.